And in the great words of Monty Python, and now for something completely different. I'm Joseph Meany. I'm here to talk to you today about the VAPOR program, VAPOR standing for Velocity Attenuation via Porous Orbital Reefs. The goal of the VAPOR program is simple. It's coming at you with a $60 million budget and styled like an ARPA-like program of portfolio research to develop new armor materials to shield expensive, longer-lived space infrastructure. This is in an attempt to prevent a runaway debris field before the debris becomes a self-perpetuating emergency, or else we risk losing access to the shores of our cosmic ocean. This is a model of our near-Earth orbit. The use of space is accelerating. And so along with it, the problem of space debris along with it. Each object launched into space, this is including satellites, the ISS, and what have you, is statistically generating about 10,000 individual pieces of space debris. And over the next 20 to 25 years, we're going to be increasing the density of low Earth orbits objects by 7 times through the deployment of multiple mega constellations of satellites. And that's going to ultimately result, if this trend continues, in over 1 billion pieces of space debris. And what does this mean from a total risk analysis? Well, the global space economy was worth about $630 billion in 2024, mostly followed from the sectors of climate analysis, communications, and navigation. But a lot of different subsectors rely on those primary analyses. And the World Bank concludes that by about 2050, when we're talking about that $1 billion number of space debris, the space economy should be worth about $3 trillion. But if the current risk of growth is consistent, if we continue to generate more and more space debris, all of that is at risk. Currently, we are at the point where we are generating space debris faster than that space debris is exiting orbit and burning up in the atmosphere. There are also other growth sectors that are starting to come on board. And these juvenile sectors won't be able to see the investment that they need if the risk becomes too high to launch high dollar, high value, long return on investment opportunities that require the use of space for its unique environment. The health sector and biopharmaceuticals are seeing some interesting use because we can grow new types of crystals in space that aren't possible. Orbital compute is one, we'll call it controversial opportunity for space use. And on top of that, new types of manufacturing, like the actual manufacturing of semiconductor wafers, seeing larger and more economic use in microgravity is exciting. But all of these types of investments on these high dollar facilities and fabrications are going to require better use of the space environment and require good stewardship to come to fruition. The state of the art of protecting our infrastructure is mostly related to satellites because that's what we have for the most part up there right now. We slap on a bit of armor, or those satellites have to expend a bit of fuel to dodge the debris that they can see incoming. But 2 glaring problems arise. For the armor case, when you have an impact, it's like a car crash, except going at 3 kilometers per second, not going at 60 kilometers an hour. And so when those objects collide, you're just creating more space debris. That's why we are worried about this concept of collisions creating this self-perpetuating negative loop. But when you are talking about having to dodge the debris, you're also limited by the fact that you have to be able to see it to react to it. And that creates the fact that we can't see space debris if it's smaller than about my fist. And that's where the VAPOR program is going to come in. So if we look at the opportunities that can come out through porous, lightweight, low-density materials. I would say that we would, at a mature state, look at the opportunities being the materials being applied in space, decelerating the space debris rather than moving on to a destructive stopping. And if we're looking at dodging the debris, we solve this problem because an applied material is actually excellent because it's a passive approach. Now, the vapor program I've outlined to be in 3 phases. Now, don't read this. If you want all the detail, go to my printed concept note at the end. But basically what I lay it out as is a $60 million program over 5 years. And if it's funded at that $60 million level, the program would take a number of opportune parallelization so that we're able to test a lot more interesting and hard to fund research problems. But it is possible, and I've divided it out by color, to look at it in smaller buckets. And if we take a look at these different colors in the different buckets, there are hard go, no-go decisions that would allow the program to continue on. But one of the things that I want to outline here is that the program wouldn't reach its full potential until we get something in space, until it actually flies. The space experts that require something called space heritage won't recognize it as a viable transition pathway. And so what we're looking at is if this program is successful, we would reverse the growing rate of impacts, clearing our cosmic shores. Thank you very much.